What's up guys, it's Ryan and you're watching Ryan Vision. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more. Check out projectzj.com for all the videos on this Jeep. Everything that's been done, there's been a video for it and they're all in order on the website, so you can check it out from when I bought the Jeep in 2011 to how it got to how it looks right now. So make sure you check that out. Also on the website you'll see a link to Instagram. Instagram's been just completely blowing up. I think I'm creeping up on 8,000 followers now, and basically that's a direct link to my cell phone. Every picture I take of this Jeep, when I'm messing around putting new parts on it or doing wiring, whatever I'm doing, usually I'm taking a picture or a video and putting it on Instagram. So if you're just following on YouTube, you know, everybody's got a smartphone now. You might want to download Instagram if you don't have it, and check us out on there. Like I said, just follow the link from the website projectzj.com. There's an Instagram link and you can check out all the images on there. So a couple updates for you today. Real quick, I'll show you the steering, something I'm trying out. If you've been following along, you know I've been trying different things with the new custom rough stuff steering. Think we finally got that figured out. Gonna make a few more changes. There's my Taurus fan kicking on. It's on a temperature sensor from the 5.9. But anyways, the biggest update I have for you today is the curved 50-inch LED light bar you can see mounted at the top of the windshield there, and that's courtesy of one of my latest sponsors, GG Lighting. You can check them out at gglighting.net, and if you use the coupon code PROJECTZJ with a capital P and a capital ZJ, no spaces, PROJECTZJ, they'll give you 10% off your entire order. So go through, get your light bar, get your mounts, you know, everything like that. And then when you go to checkout, put Project ZJ in as the coupon code and get that 10% discount. That's for all my Instagram followers. So I want to go over that. Basically, they hooked me up big time. I was going to order a G2, and they said, you know what, let's go all out. Let's get you a G3. I guess it has a 4D reflector, somewhere around 27,000 lumens, I think just under that. I want to say like 26,750 lumens. It is extremely bright. And then I got their GG brackets, which are bolt-on. And I had a you know, awesome guy, one of my Instagram followers, Tony. He made his own mounts, and I was going to use his, but what scared me away from those was I was going to have to either drill holes in my pillars or weld the brackets to my pillars. So that kind of scared me away from those. And then I saw these, and they're bolt-on. They actually use existing screw holes and screws that are already in that pillar for a like trim piece that goes in with the weather stripping. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you how I wired it. Also, when you order a light bar through GG Lighting, they sent me an awesome wiring harness. I ended up cutting it up just because I wanted to change the wiring lengths, and because some of the connectors wouldn't make it through the holes I had drilled in the firewall and stuff like that. So I'll go over that. But basically, if you need a light bar, you know, don't mess around. Just go to the best, gglighting.net. Get one of their G3 bars. They've got, if you're trying to save some money, they've got some great bars called Riot bars, which you know, the price is lower. Not quite as bright, but I mean, this thing's insane. I don't have time tonight to make a video showing the how bright it is at nighttime, but I'll do another video to show you that. But take my word for it, guys, it's like daylight, extremely bright. The difference with a curved bar is it spreads the light out more, so it's not as focused of a beam. So with a straight bar you could probably actually get more focused light out to a farther distance, but that's something you'd want for like high-speed racing, you know, going 100 miles an hour out in the desert or something. I'm doing very low-speed rock crawling on the Rubicon, so I want to just make it like daylight, you know, in front of the vehicle, and that's what this does. Don't get me wrong, it's got plenty of distance to it, but the light that shoots out to the sides and right in front of the vehicle is just unreal how just pure bright white it is. It's amazing. So I'll do another video to show you that. But anyways, let's take a quick look at the steering, and then I'll give you a closer look at the light bar. Alright, so if you haven't been keeping up on the videos, I was running a bolt-on kit from Rock Offroad, their over-the-knuckle kit with the 5/8 hardware upgrade, and it was a great bolt-on kit. I didn't have any problems with it for the longest time, but when I really started doing tons of suspension travel and droop and things like that, I noticed that I was maxing out the misalignments and just getting a little binding, and it was only happening going one way, things like that. So I wanted to try something different, wanted to try a custom setup. I'm local to Rough Stuff Specialties, so basically if you haven't heard of them, they sell steel tubing, heim joints, jam nuts, hardware, brackets, track bar brackets, tabs, mounts for coil springs, you name it, they've got it, all the builder parts, check them out. But basically they had this Y-link adapter that you see over on the left side there, that gray piece that's not painted. And originally that was flipped so that the bolt that's facing up right now, this was down here, pointing backwards, like a true Y-link setup. And the thing that's great about that is it gives you unlimited droop angle on the driver's side. That just becomes a pivoting point. But you still have the issue of maxing out the misalignment on the pitman arm. So what I was running into when the bolt was pointing forward to back instead of up and down like it is now is I was getting tons of tie rod roll. And what that basically means is the drag link, before it was causing the tie rod to go left to right and actually turn the wheels left and right, it was rolling the tie rod front and back, which gives you this just crazy dead spot in the steering, and it makes handling kind of sketchy. I really didn't like it at all. So talked to Cali Fab, Chance over at Cali Fabrication, who's also local to me. And he wanted me to go out to a meet and greet at Prairie City because he just got done, he's not done, but got his FJ on 42s and wanted to go test some stuff out. So I really wanted to go to that, and I told him I want to go, but man, my steering's really sketchy, I don't know about going out there. And he said, hey, no sweat, man, why don't you come over early in the morning? And this was the day of the meet and greet. Come over early in the morning, we'll check it out, we'll see if we can figure out something. So we kind of both looked at it and talked about it and let him test drive it, see what the issue was. And he came up with some good ideas, and I had a good idea of my own, and we just kind of blended them together and tried it, and it's working really good. It handles a lot better now. But what I have to do, and I'm just waiting for my Rock Offroad springs, which are going to be here tomorrow along with the belly skid plate. When those get here tomorrow, I'm going to put those on the front coils and get my ride height all figured out, dialed back in, because I don't want to mess with the steering until I have my ride height exactly back where I want it. I want to bring the front end down just a little bit, and these new springs are also a lot firmer spring rate, so it's going to help the handling too. It's not going to have as much body roll since I'm not running sway bars. So anyways, once I get the new springs on, then we can dial the steering geometry back in, because what happened is moving that joint up instead of front to back like I was telling you about. Now you can see that my track bar is not at the exact same angle. It's close, but it's not at the exact same angle as the drag link. The track bar and the drag link should be as close as possible as far as the angles and the lengths. So I have another Rough Stuff track bar mount right now. I just have tabs down on the axle side. I have a Rough Stuff track bar mount, and I think the lowest hole on that, it's got 3 different holes. The lowest hole looks like it'll be at the exact angle that I need to line these track bar and drag links back up. So that shouldn't be a problem, but I'm gonna keep running it up and down like this. And the other thing that I came up with, just kind of thinking about it, is, well, how can I limit the tie rod roll? Well, let me zoom in a little bit. One of the things I just thought about and was like, let's see if it works, is on the actual on the heim joints that are out on the knuckles, if you tip one of them back till it's almost maxed out, not completely maxed out, and you can see there's little misalignments in there, but if you tip it back on one side to where it's almost maxed out, and then on the other side, See if I can just turn this. You tip that one forward till it's almost maxed out. That eliminates a lot of your roll because the tie rod can't go that far forward and it can't go that far back. So that took almost all of the dead spot out of the steering wheel. It's really responsive now, and I'm not running those plastic, the things called the Cure. If you saw the earlier videos, I'm not running those anymore because those are not for Heim joints. Those were breaking and cracking and stuff. Those are meant for actual, you know, tie rod ends, ball joint ends. So yeah, this is gonna work out. So I'm pretty happy with how it's performing right now, and like I said, I'll get it all dialed back in hopefully tomorrow or this weekend when I get my new coils on. Alright, so now I'll give you a closer look at the GG Lighting 50-inch curved G3 4D bar. I think it's called the 3D bar, but it's got the 4D reflector on it. And I'll give you a close look as long as you promise that you're not going to make fun of my disgusting welds on the bolt there. I am not a welder, definitely not a professional welder. But I'll tell you what, even living in a nice area with a light bar like this, I wasn't going to risk it. Even with the tamper-proof bolts and all that, I decided, you know what, if I'm going to sleep at night, this thing's got to be welded on. Because in order to steal this, you'd have to cut it off. And I'll tell you what, my Jeep's always within sight, and I'm a really good shot, whether it's with the M4 or the Glock. I'll take you out. I might not kill you, but I'll take you out. I'll definitely make you wish you weren't messing with my Jeep, that's for sure. So those bolts are welded on, and it made the light bar really rigid. I wasn't even sure that I had it adjusted correctly. I just kind of eyeballed it and got them welded on before the light bar was even wired. So I had no idea where the light was going to end up, but it all worked out pretty well. So these are the GG brackets. They're awesome. They screw on to the pillar using factory screw hole and factory screws, but you can beef up the screws if you want to use a little fatter one or a little longer one. But they're in there, and then the door, when it's shut, it puts pressure on there, holds it nice and firm. And it just looks awesome. I'll give you a quick little walk around here. It sits really nice and low, and it works almost kind of like a visor from inside the vehicle. It really doesn't get in your way. It doesn't obstruct your view. If anything, it kind of blocks the light like a tint strip would, you know, like an eyebrow tint strip up on the windshield. So I'll give you a quick look from the inside. You can see it's really not very low at all on the windshield. It does not block your view at all. So here's another shot of the bracket. My nasty weld, and then I just blasted some black paint on there so it wouldn't rust. So definitely gonna get that cleaned up. I know it looks bad, but you know, for right now it's good theft prevention, and then you know, we'll get those welds looking a lot better than that, grind them down probably completely off, and have somebody who knows what they're doing weld them on. But yeah, it looks really good. So let me go ahead and open this door and show you how the bracket mounts. So I don't want to rip all this apart, but basically what you do is you pull this weather stripping off. It's just kind of hung on this lower lip here. There's a little metal lip that goes all the way, and this piece goes all the way back to where the back door ends. And it's a double seal, so you notice that the door's got its own seal, this is a seal, and it's got, you know, two little grooves, whatever you want to call them, and this has a single groove door seal. So what I ended up doing on the other side is I just snipped this, just, you know, with a pair of scissors. Even you got your wire coming down on the other side, it's coming down from like right here, and what I did was I just snipped a little slit right here, and the inside of this little tube is hollow, and it's like the perfect diameter of the cable. So what I had to do was I had to cut the connector off the cable. That was way too fat to fit in there. And then I just, once I was inside of this tube and the weather stripping, I just, you know, lubed it up with a bunch of WD-40, just sprayed a whole bunch in there, and then shoved that wire in there and just fed it all the way down. Just kept working it. It took a little finessing to get it all the way down, but the weather stripping, you know, ends back here behind the front fender. And so if you can, and again, you can pull this whole thing off, you know, you don't be trying to keep it on here while you're doing it, just pull the whole thing off, and you'll feed it all the way through the end, and then you can splice back into it with some wire connectors. And that's exactly what I did. So I hid it all behind the fender, And then the GG wiring kit came with a relay and all that. So it was really pretty straightforward. The hardest part was running this through the weather stripping, but once you get that, it's just a matter of connecting the positive and the ground. You know, go to the battery. I actually went to the fuse box for the positive. I went to the battery for the ground, and then I had a hole drilled over on the passenger side floor, you know, by your feet, going through the firewall for other things like my GoPro cables and all that. So I already had a hole there, and I ran that through for the switch. And again, GG Lighting, their wiring harness came with, let's see if I can, gosh, can't even get an angle for you guys, came with a little push button switch right there. And it's got just like some 3M sticky tape on the back of it. And at first I was like, no, I'm gonna drill a hole and run a normal switch, but I really like this switch. It has a red light that's on all the time for like standby, and then when you push that button, it turns green to let you know that it's on, and you know, it clicks and lets you know that you pushed it. It's nice. I really like it. So I tucked all the wiring under the carpet, then ran it through the firewall up to the relay, and I actually mounted the relay to the bolt that holds my coolant reservoir tank on, because I've got other relays and stuff, you know, over by the air filter and stuff. And since all my wiring for the light bar was on the passenger side, I decided that was the best spot for it. So yeah, it all worked out really well, and couldn't be happier, to be honest. And the doors don't have a hard time closing, even though you can see the weather stripping's kind of pushed out there. You know, you don't have to do anything special, just shut the door. It's nice and flush, everything's good. So awesome light bar. Definitely check out GG Lighting. They'll hook you up with a good deal, and don't forget to use that 10% coupon code Project ZJ when you do the checkout. But they've got curved bars, they've got straight bars, they've got pods, they've got, you know, everything you can imagine, all different kinds of brackets. So definitely check out their website. I will do another video showing you how bright this thing is, like I said, but I gotta do it at nighttime. During the day it just doesn't do it justice. But I guess since we're messing around with stuff, you know, I'll hit the button. Let's see, I locked myself out. I'll go ahead and hit the button and just see what it looks like, show you guys what's going on here. So here's a little closer look at the switch. So, you know, the wire just, that's the only place you see it. Then it's all tucked under the carpet and goes through the firewall. So you can see the red light's on right now for standby, and then I just push it. Now it's on, the green light's on. So let's check it out, see what it looks like. So in the thing, see right here, it doesn't look bright at all because it's a curved bar. So unless you're at the right angle where the LEDs are actually focusing toward you, right now you can see it's starting to get bright on the on your left side, on the passenger side of the Jeep. And as I walk across, it's just gonna get bright in that section that's pointing at us. So that's the cool thing about a curved bar. It really spreads the light out. You can see I'm at a pretty decent angle to the side, and you can see right here it starts getting bright. So it's a really cool setup, and this is really bright. I don't think the camera's doing it justice, but I'll tell you what, even in the daylight after looking at this thing, and you know, your eyes have that like white glaze over them, you know, you go back inside and you're like, man, it's still bright, you know. So super bright light. I'll get you guys some nighttime footage and nighttime photos. So again, check out projectzj.com for all the videos, and get on Instagram, follow the link on the website to the Instagram, and check out all the up-to-date photos. I'm posting those every single day. All right guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.